time to jump into the Bowling Green Refrigeration Heating and Cooling Sports Web with your host, Brian Webb. Also starring Danny the Limb Hartung, MLB Insider, made possible thanks to First Step Orthotics on the Bypass. WKU Sports Analysis with Casey Werner, presented by Poston Electronics. The one and only Vegas Frank Against the Odds, presented by JBK Network Consulting. Free golf tips with WKU Women's Golf Coach in Gary on the Green from Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill, your Green Egg headquarters. Spotlighting high school athletics with the Culver's Butterburgers Player of the Week. The Coach's Pick with Damon Tabor with plaques from Oak Tree Awards. All guests via the Line X of Bowling Green hotline. And now, the Sports Web.
I like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin so brown, and I want to sleep with you in the
Hello, everybody. Sports Web back at fiver on the Timex. Keeps on ticking even when it takes a beating. And I tell you what, Bill O'Brien's probably listening to a little Eagles on the way home right now, but that was a long time coming.
I gotta say, I think peaceful, easy feeling for me because my Rams won. Not a peaceful, easy feeling for Bill O'Brien, and not a peaceful, easy feeling for the Cowboys.
Oh, thanks for bringing the Cowboys up. Your game
After
wasn't
the
exactly
I read
picture
that post.
perfect.
Yeah, you know what? I bet the other side on that Rams game, so
Pretty ugly.
I felt pretty good about that.
Oh,
but yeah, those Cowboys, man, they give up 540 yards yesterday. Good Lord. That's not a really.
Yeah, I don't think
that's
Dak
not a really
can
solid
produce
defense.
the amount of yards they lose every week, even though he's trying his hardest.
I'm going to change his name to Gak.
Dak Prescott, man.
You can't say Slack Prescott because he tries hard.
He really is not a bad quarterback. I mean,
Great quarterback.
But that defense is just got like Swiss cheese, man. It doesn't look very good, man. No, it's been a wild, wild week, guys. Come on.
It has been, man. We're going to get into that NFL later. I'll tell you real quick, tease the show. Got a great one for you folks. Caden Veldkamp, the old gunslinger from the South Warren Spartans, is going to be joining us. They got our Culver, huge win against an unbelievable defense in the Purples. And, Spartans, same on defense. They got a great defense. We'll talk to him later. Also, Vegas Frank's going to break down tonight's football game. He's going to talk some other stuff, talk some tops, Marshall. That's coming up this weekend. Looking forward to that, Casey.
Oh yeah, I mean that's homecoming. This is everything right here. This is the turning point in the season.
This is it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep, this is it. So we'll talk a little bit about that after the break, but we're going to kick it off, and then Gary on the Green will give us a cold weather golfing tip. Danny, you might need that.
Yeah, I don't play in the cold.
Fair weather.
No, that's not that so much that, man. When you get 63 years old, everything tightens up. If you just, it has to be 70 to 75 degrees. Other thing, everything just tightens up and just, you can't keep a groove.
You got to throw those layers on. Man.
Exactly, dude. You swing with 8 layers on. It's just, it's no fun, But no, I played this weekend, shot a smooth 80.
Nice.
39-41. It was all right, but, I was got in the quota points game and, just about too short of the money list, but they got you down there. But right now, the Oakland A's are leading the Houston Astros in the bottom of the 5th, 5-3. I kind of like the Athletics this year. We could probably go back on record and take a look at that one, but
I need what I need out of the A's.
It's there.
I think it's there, along with my Tampa Bay Rays, because I said they had the DNA to come up with the short season and keep those Glasnow and Snell's arm and Yarborough's arm nice and loose, and I think they're going to pull it off later on to get the Yankees-Rays going. So, they got some real bad blood going in that one. So this should be really entertaining baseball for the next week because
I'll just be glad to see the Astros go down.
That's what I was saying. If the A's could just a nice 3-game sweep over the Astros, that would be good.
That's some bad blood too because they got pitching for not tonight, but Fires is the rat, what they call him there. But that should be entertaining. But I'd love to see the Athletics in there. I don't hate the Astros; they're a good baseball team, but they're just not the same this year as they have been the last couple of years. And they got rid of all the trash cans and all that other stuff. So it's
Cole taking on Snell tonight, I think.
Yeah, big matchup.
It is Cole Snell, and they pitched well, and then you got Atlanta in Florida, which is a really nice story with
along with the rest of Bowling Green in Florida.
Sorry, Reds. That's too bad. But the Cubs. Man, you cannot do anything if you can't hit the baseball. And sorry, Cincinnati, you got to score a run.
A run. Just a run.
A run to get in the play, to win a game, you have to score a run.
I mean, didn't we talk about it last week? We said, their lineup is what's going to kill them. The highest batting average in the lineup was like 255.
And that's, it bit them. Right, the downside, but that's what happens. But that pitching for Atlanta was just lights out last week. With excuse me,
they're talking about Fried,
Fried or whatever, and they pitched it well, man. That first game went 13 innings. You got to score a run.
Absolutely.
13 innings for crying out loud.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. You talk about the Braves all year long, and if they pitch like that, they can win the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easy.
But you know what? I hope it's going to be Atlanta, and the Dodgers are still going to be there. I don't care what game. I don't think Atlanta's going to sweep, but I think they could probably win it in 4. I think Dodgers have enough to sweep. To tell you the truth. I mean, they're hitting the ball well. If Bellinger got hot, that would even make it more sick. But Muncy's hot. Justin Turner's hot. Seager is just on fire. So it should be a lot of fun watching those games. But there's a lot of things going on. Tonight.
Man, honestly, I think if the Reds could have outlasted the Braves in that first meeting that went, 14, 15 innings. Mm-hmm. I mean, they had 2 or 3 opportunities to win that game. And, I think if they would have won that game, because I think that second game, other than the fresh pitchers, everybody wore out.
They were done. I mean, it's interesting to look, though. What do you think about this matchup, this Padres-Dodgers matchup? Game 1, you got Zach Davies against Walker Buehler on the mound. Davies' ERA at 18. He's gotten blown off the mound so far.
Davies has not pitched well, even after he came over from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
When they picked him up, I thought it was kind of a reach.
Yeah.
Because he didn't pitch that well in Milwaukee.
But I mean,
he's had some great years.
Sure, and it's good to have depth in the playoffs. You can never have enough pitching in the playoffs.
You're absolutely right. What happens is when Clevenger's down.
Yeah.
Lamette's down. Lamette may make this next one, but I don't think Clevenger's going to, tell you the truth. If they get through Los Angeles, which I highly doubt, Clevenger should be able to come off the IL for that would be the championship NL series,
right.
But I don't think that's going to happen. Lamette's got a bad hip, and he's a stud, man. This guy is a stud, and then you can't wait on Paddock. He's a good pitcher. He's too young right now. I just don't think they have enough on the pitching side to stave off that Dodger lineup, man, because they're starting to just absolutely murder the ball. They look really too good. I think right now you ask me, I say Dodgers in 4.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there, man. But I think it's interesting to look at this pitching matchup too in the Marlins-Braves game. Alcantara, 1.35 ERA, 0.9 WHIP. I mean, he's looking great. He's looked awesome. Alcantara,
he's a stud.
Yeah,
this guy throws in the high 90s,
sure.
And he's got a wipeout slider and a good curveball. But he reaches up there at the average 96, 97 on a fastball, two-seamer and four-seamer. And he's got a good, he's got a pretty good changeup, but his wipeout slider is incredible. And he handled the last group of guys he just went through. But, Atlanta, I like that group there as far as their batting. Freddie Freeman is on fire.
Absolutely.
Dansby Swanson's starting to hit the ball again. Albies is, he's coming along, but Ronald Acuna Jr., I'm telling you right now, this guy is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's a very special player. He's defensive-wise, and, boy, this guy can run the bases. I like Atlanta in 5.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I think it's safe to say that Acuna is maybe a next level version of Andrew McCutchen.
Absolutely,
he's doing the same kind of stuff he was probably about 10 years ago, but taking it to another level.
He's going to, I'm telling you, by the
efficient.
time he's done, he's going to be up there in the likes of Ken Griffey Jr. Maybe not the home run power.
Oh yeah,
but I'm telling you what, this guy is a stud.
Absolutely.
There's so much fun to watch this batting top to bottom on this Atlanta team, and you know what, they're going to be. They're fun to watch, and their pitching, they can back it up, man. They're just a riot to watch, and they've been that way all year, and they were that way last year, and
sure,
they felt a little short last year, but I think it's going to be the Dodgers, Atlanta, the Yankees. And I hope the A's, baby, because I do not want the Stros in there. I'm sorry. Any Houston fans, I apologize. But you know what? Take your lumps where you get them, baby.
This ball is crushed.
Yeah, Danny crushed that one.
Danny is always crushing.
Oh yeah, that's a good
crush
call.
A lot.
I started rambling, baby.
I gotta
love it when you ramble.
Yeah, I gotta know this though, Danny. If you're picking with your heart, the matchup you would love to see in the World Series, what's that matchup?
I'd love to see an East Coast one. I'd love to see the Rays and Atlanta. I really would.
That'd be cool.
And you know what? Don't count I don't count that out because that could happen.
Sure.
But I hate to say it, but I think the Dodgers have a little bit too much on the Atlanta, but boy, that's getting closer and closer. Every time I watch, it gets a little more closer to an even series. And you know what? I'm trying to figure out just the odds on if they both make it to the NLCS.
Sure.
I'd love to see just right now what the odds would be. Atlanta would probably be a little bit favored with Buehler and Kershaw. But the first two with Fried and Ian Anderson, man, the guy's a stud. You know, he played flute for Jethro Tull.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on.
You know, if you can pitch and then play flute for Jethro Tull for
hero. You're a hero.
No, I can't wait to see that. I hope it is.
Yeah. Danny thinking outside the box over there with
Ball
the Jethro
six.
Tull.
I like it. Hey, quick
Ball
update.
9.
It's still 2 outs. There was nobody on, but right now, top 6. Astros, man on first and second. We'll see. I'm trying to make a little move here, top of 6. Good stuff, man. Well, we'll head on out to a little quick break. We'll come back and talk some National Football League, man. We've had a lot going on this weekend. We didn't get to see those Titans. I don't know if that's not a good thing because those Steelers were hot, and you don't want to see them lose their momentum. And
Juju Smith-Schuster said, "Damn, we wanted to play because they were playing good football."
And we'll talk a little bit about how we think that might affect teams moving forward here in the National Football League.
Everyone's susceptible. Wear your mask. It's cool.
Do it. You saw right there, President just leaving Walter Reed. He got it. So, I mean, if Trump can get it, we can all get it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Absolutely.
Hey, we're going to come right back with some more Sports Web right after the break. Casey Warner on the board, the limb on his throne. Brian Webb here. Don't go anywhere. 102.7.
Holding court.
This is Mike Keith, voice of the Tennessee Titans, and you're listening to the Sports Web on ESPN Radio 102.7.
How much were your heating costs last winter? I'm sure too much. Mike Keith here to tell you how to heat your home for just $600 a year. Trust the experts at Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill to transform your old fireplace into a stunning source of heat with brand names such as Yodel, Fireplace Extraordinaire, Avalon, and Lopi, the Cadillac of fireplaces. Lopi's Cape Cod is the world's cleanest burning wood stove with unbelievable hybrid fire technology. Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill, just off the bridge on Old Louisville Road. BowlingGreenFireplace.com.
Hi, this is Danny Hartung with First Step Prosthetics. Jeremy Harris and I would like to thank the people of Bowling Green and the surrounding areas for their support of the last 10 years. We are proud to announce that we have been celebrating over a decade of service to this community. We are going strong with the utmost care for our orthotic and prosthetic patients. We strive to provide the new and latest technology for the care of our patients and whatever their specific needs should be. Take the next step with us. Next Batteries Plus on the bypass, or visit us at firststepprosthetics.com.
The Hilltopper football season is underway, and that means the Tyson Helton Coaches Show is back on the airwaves. Join host Randy Lee and WKU head football coach Tyson Helton for a look back at the previous week, a preview of the next game up, and some stories and laughs along the way. Various Hilltopper players will make appearances throughout the season as well, giving their perspective of the action on the field. Tune into the Tyson Helton Coaches Show Monday at 6 on your flagship station for Hilltopper football, Sam 100.7.
The federal government provides $150 billion a year to make higher education possible for anyone. Completing the free application for federal student aid, known as the FAFSA, is the first step to getting your share. But an estimated $40 million in financial aid is left on the table each year by Kentucky students. Don't let that happen to you.
Fill out the new and improved FAFSA today. Visit knowhowtogoky.org and join the conversation on Twitter, #KnowHowToPayKY. This message is brought to you by the Pritchard Committee Student Voice Team and the Council on Post-Secondary Education.
Not all spray-in is created equal. For example, spray-in honey.
Why are all these bees following me?
Or maybe spray-in tanning.
Hey, you missed a spot there on your face. Oh, that's bad.
See Line-X of Bowling Green for spray-in bed liners and Line-X truck gear. It's the next level of complete tough gear for your truck. B&W gooseneck hitches, toolboxes, step bars, and WeatherTech door mats. Gift cards now available. Easy, affordable, and rugged. Line-X. Check out more at linexofbowlinggreen.com.
Welcome back. Sports Webb. NFL coming at us a bonus game tonight, guys, since Cam Newton was a little sick.
When I hear this, you know what I think of? I just think of those old NFL films where the team takes the
score update. Houston is up 6-5.
The Ice Bowl was -4 degrees as the Cowboys took the field against the Packers.
In the frozen tundra.
No, that's those are my favorite. I mean, when I was a kid, I was enamored by the National Football League, and
that was awesome. Man.
It was just awesome. I mean, it's still good, but I mean, it's nothing like it was then. I mean, nobody cared what they made,
or
nobody
wore.
cared about what was going on.
Or the hats they wore after the press conference.
Think about this.
None of them had any teeth.
Before the halftime show got big, they had the band come out on the field and play the halftime show. Isn't that nostalgic, man?
That is
exactly.
nostalgic.
They had the halftime band come out and they'd freeze their backside off, and it was horrible for them. But you know what? They were there, baby. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Biggest takeaway from the weekend, guys. National Football League.
Nick Chubb out 4 to 6 weeks.
A lot of injuries, man.
Man, I'll tell you what. These guys are,
I don't think they had time enough to prepare this year.
Don't either.
No.
They didn't get game shapes.
I'll tell you what. My biggest takeaway was the NFC East is truly the NFC Least. It should be renamed the NFC Least.
Yes.
I mean, I think the NFC East is just eternally cursed at this point.
The Washington Redskins can be probably go down.
You mean the Washington football team?
Check it out.
Or the Deadskins or whatever. They're horrible. Although they did get a push yesterday. I did bet Baltimore, and they only won by 14, and that was the line.
Lamar Jackson back to form, though.
Oh, absolutely, baby. He is a stud, man.
I don't know that they use their running backs the way I would
Why would
use
they?
them. I guess they don't need them. You're right. Unless you're playing the Chiefs.
Ingram had a touchdown and 40 yards. It's decent for fantasy. I'll take that. He was a nice little flex play. So I mean,
Kittle back last night. He looked
Kittle had
mid-season.
40 points in PPR.
Yeah, I know because I played my wife, and that was her ringer.
Yeah, I think I'm in dead last. I'm going to have to bring the trophy back and cough it up, guys. I'm sorry.
I think Casey at bat's going to get it this year.
Casey, you're winning this league?
You know what's funny is if this tells you all you need to know about fantasy football. I mean, I didn't even personally draft.
I didn't either.
It was an auto draft.
I forgot.
Sometimes auto's better.
It is really.
It worked for me for the first week.
Don't second guess yourself.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm in 4 different leagues, and that was the one I didn't draft in, and I think I'm doing the best in that one. So I mean, fantasy football is 75% luck, man. Just look at it.
It's a lot of luck.
Out of the 4, I only played 4 baseballs this year.
Only 4. Good job.
I won 3 out of the 4.
Hey, with that
75%.
On the 4th one, I finished 6th.
Well, at least you were respectable.
Well, I made my money back on that one, so that was all good. But no, I'm waiting for everything to get back to normal. Hopefully, with the
was there a little fight in the Giants game last night?
Okay, I got the lowdown. I got the lowdown.
Tell me a little bit about this.
So here's the lowdown. Going into the game, Jalen Ramsey and Golden Tate had a little pre-existing family confusion.
Yeah, they're both Tennessee boys.
So here's what happened. Jalen Ramsey was dating Golden Tate's sister, Brianna Tate.
All right,
and
little background here.
Yep, Jalen Ramsey and Brianna Tate had 2 children together. Never got married, though. Jalen Ramsey leaves Brianna Tate for a Las Vegas model. And Golden Tate didn't like that because they had 2 kids together. And who would like that? You know,
Golden Tate went to JP too. He's a good, outstanding Catholic boy. But
and on Twitter a year ago, Golden Tate tweeted out that he was going to have to come see him at some point. And they saw each other yesterday. And apparently, after the game, as soon as Golden Tate saw Jalen Ramsey,
it was
Smackdown.
Baby, it was on.
They should put that for for on WWE, man.
They should, man. And apparently, to make matters worse, after the brawl, after the game, after they went to the locker rooms and everything, Jalen Ramsey was waiting outside the Giants' locker room for Golden Tate, apparently.
Golden Tate, take him.
Blood boiling, man. I mean,
Golden Tate will take him.
I'm telling you, Jalen Ramsey is one of those guys that's a great trash talker, but can he back it up off the field?
He's wiry.
Hey, guys, real quick. Yes or no? Brian Hoyer goes for 300 yards tonight.
No. Not even 200.
Even the Chiefs defense can stop that.
Not even 200.
120 yards, 3 picks.
Over and under 140, 1 touchdown,
and
4 picks.
4 picks.
Man. It'll be one of those games.
It's going to be a murder. It's going to be a bloodbath.
So they'll release murder hornets.
It'll be one of those weird games where Bill Belichick pulls some running back or receiver we don't even know.
We've never heard of.
He'll have like
somebody from like the Johnson County Middle School.
Yeah,
he's going to have. Who
Rex Burkhead had 30 points last week.
We can take
James White might show up.
Burkhead take the snap and just run the ball.
Yeah,
take the snap and run it.
And where did Rex go
to
college?
Stand there.
We got to see
Nebraska.
Boom!
He did.
Husker.
Yep.
Power.
Hey, I really would like to see old Damian Harris get some carries tonight. The Kentucky boy from Madison Southern.
There you
go.
I agree,
man.
That's a good call.
That would be a great call, man.
So we'll see.
Him and Rex can line up in the fullback.
I'm telling you, it seems like year after year, Belichick has 5 different running backs.
It does. He's gone through Deion Sanders, White, Burkhead. And who else?
Brandon Bold,
Lewis.
Brandon Bold. He's pretty good though. He's got a lot of guys he never uses.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean that's why they're so deep.
Yeah.
All right. How about try this one on for size, guys? Matty Ice Ryan maybe would be okay if it was frozen tundra, but it's going to be warm tonight. Will Matty Ice melt?
Matty Ice goes for 260, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks.
I think the
Probably
Falcons
on the money, right?
I think the Falcons jump out to a 21-7 lead
Then
at half.
get blown out in the third
and then Rodgers and the Packers come back and destroy them 35-28.
And then they have an onside kick and they pick it up.
I haven't heard, is Devontae Adams even playing in it?
Is he out?
He's doubtful.
Devontae Adams and Alan Lazard
Yeah,
are out.
Lazard are gone.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
He's going to get all the looks.
Is he even alive?
Hey, man, he's my flex play in my big money league, so he better get me some points.
No, I got him tonight, too.
God, when's
I hope
Devontae
you're
Adams
right.
supposed to come back?
He was questionable earlier in the week.
He claimed today that he said he was good to play, but the doctors overruled him.
So I'm going to wait for next week to have him.
Guess so.
I love the guy.
Don't drop him.
No, I never.
No.
I don't know about Calvin Ridley
I
tonight.
started him.
I don't know about, and then I saw Calvin Ridley on the also on the questionable list tonight. Julio, is Julio going to be?
Me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
Hey, I mean, the interesting guy in that offense to me though is Russell Gage. He's had a good
I
season
got
so
him right
far.
here.
Yeah.
You can look at my lineup.
Yeah.
I got
so
Russell
I mean,
in.
he could make a splash tonight.
I brought him up.
Yeah,
he might do okay. I don't know. I think probably Julio and Ridley will be okay tonight. I mean, I think the Falcons got a chance. You know, if it was December the 18th and the frozen tundra was at its best, maybe not. But I don't like it.
Ridley will play tonight. So
I think Ridley will play.
Yeah,
That's
he's active.
the way I was looking
I just
at
got
him.
the update. He's
Oh,
active.
good. He is
So,
active.
yeah.
Great. I don't have to mess with this then because the game will start. That first game, the Pats reschedule. That starts at 6:05 Central.
Yeah.
So as soon as we get out of here, Danny, we'll have to
we
go,
better check on the. Let me check on the
somewhere.
old baseball score here, guys. Hold on just a second. It is 7-5.
Wow.
Houston. They put 4 on him. Wasn't happy with that pitcher, but
it was 2 outs, nobody on a bag.
Now it's bottom of the 6th inning, and Oakland's down 7-5. They can come back.
They put up 4 in the top of the 6th.
Yep.
Wow. Somebody got pulled. I don't know who was throwing, but
Diekman's now pitching. So,
Oh my
but where is that?
What about the Brownies, though, man? Man, they look like they have it figured out, or is it just the Cowboys' defense that made them look good?
No, I think
Kareem Hunt, man.
Kareem Hunt, terrific, man. I got him.
Yeah, he was questionable.
He's awesome, but what's his name? Mr. Chubb. 4 to 6 weeks MCL sprain.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I'll tell you what was the key this week for the Browns was Odell Beckham.
Man, he went off.
He hasn't had a game like that.
Did you see the Landry pass? It was great.
Oh man, it was fun to watch.
I didn't know Landry was a left-hander. Though.
Yeah, of course he is. Like all of us.
The
left-hander.
All of us good athletes.
That's right.
Southpaw.
I couldn't throw it out of my shadow.
You threw a baseball pretty good.
I did.
Mid-'80s?
Yeah, back 50 years ago.
Back when Andy Griffith hadn't even landed on network airwaves
Exactly.
yet.
Opie was still very young.
Opie was a gleam.
Opie was just a very small child.
Oh, my goodness. What else, man? Let's see. Well, Phillip Rivers, he's trying to look like he's younger.
Let's give some attention to Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Oh, you got to love Joe Burrow. We've been on
JB,
we've been on him all
big
season.
Big win.
Carrying the
I didn't get to
Bungles.
watch it down to that, but
I saw a little bit.
I read some of the stats, and it sounded
Joe Mixon, out of nowhere.
Finally.
He's back.
Finally.
Mixon. Oh, I'm not a crook. No, wait a minute. That's Nixon. Never mind.
Be careful.
I like it. But hey, I mean, Miami looking not too bad, putting up a fight against the Seahawks. But Russell Wilson,
I love
man.
Fitzmagic.
You know what? That was the weirdest line, too.
It was.
I had it at 5.5, and I said, there's no way. I do not want to bet that line. And sure as hell, they covered. I just went.
That was a weird game.
I was reading some Vegas things today. The biggest number yesterday was bet on the Seahawks at 5.55. $5,500.
Now you're confusing.
$5,500 for the Seahawks over Miami. The guy won it.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And
biggest bet I ever made.
And that was at the MGM Grand.
$1,500 I put on a game. Biggest bet I've ever made in my life.
Did your wife kill you?
She didn't know about it, but I came home with double that, so it all worked out.
Yeah.
Danny.
Worked out, yeah.
It
the
all
week
worked
before-
out. Had some inside info.
The guy bet 3.5, 3,500 on Seattle, and they did not cover. So but, the guy got back his dough. So.
We got 2 minutes left. Let's talk about the Hilltoppers homecoming, and it's going to be the Thundering Herd thundering into BG. I tell you what, man, I'm not touching this game. I'm not even making a prediction on this game. but I think my Hilltoppers are going to show up.
Yeah, I mean the spread on this game is Marshall +7 right now.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely bettable right there. I would definitely take the points.
Where are you
there.
getting that?
But CBS Sports. Man.
CBS Sports,
my trusty app.
Pretty sure that the Thundering Herd are -5.5.
But it's a nice win against.
Is up to date, but I mean, I'll trust yours too.
I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but
maybe. But either way, I mean, Terrell Pickram coming off of a CUSA Offensive Player of the Week.
It was a decent win against MTSU.
The guy has not thrown a pick all year.
Win's a win, baby.
Exactly. So,
and he's got wheels. They're multiplying.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying. Sure. He's fine.
You're
and
not Olivia Neutron Bomb.
Tyson Helton coaches better under pressure, I think, and he needed some adversity. So I think he's going to get the boys. He's going to get the boys going now. I think.
You're absolutely right. No, I like it. I mean, we just got to. What's it? Grant Wells is their quarterback. He's pretty good, man.
He's tough. Yeah, he's
pretty good. They're not like deep at receiver though. No. They got one or two guys that are decent, but. We just need our running game, and I loved having Moses back in a little bit.
Yeah.
You saw what he's good at.
Moses,
and the C.J. Jones, I don't even know that kid. I thought he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, we're deep at receiver.
Kentucky. Hotty toddy, Loda Mighty.
Dude,
who in the hell are we?
Game.
Bing bang, flim flam, Ole Miss, by damn.
You're going to get Casey's faces turning red,
I don't
bro.
understand. No, Terry Wilson was the second overall ranked quarterback this week on Pro Football Focus. He had that great of a game.
The lane train, baby.
And you still can't figure it out. I mean, that overtime missed extra point.
I know it.
That's just Kentucky
horrible.
football.
That was horrible.
That's just Kentucky football.
My goodness.
I thought we were past those Kentucky football days, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm still creeping back up a little bit.
I'm sorry. I'm still paying my money down to Ole Miss, and I have to get my money's worth. I'm sorry. I'm going to get bombed for this one. You're going to get me thrown off the radio. But
Poops taking poops. That's what he's been doing.
But his brother's taking worse ones than that.
Oh, sure.
Oklahoma's got problems, boys.
I mean, that is not good.
First time out of the top 25.
You can blame it on COVID to some point, but after that, it's got to be on him.
First time out of the top 25 since 1994.
That's insane, man. What a squad.
Wow.
I mean,
Iowa State, baby. The Hawkeyes.
Hawkeyes. Oh, man, you guys are Hawkeyes.
The cream corn and the cranberry.
Nebraska boy Danny the Limb Hartung, First Step Orthotics, Casey Warner, Brian Webb here. Don't go anywhere. We're coming right back with the Vegas Frank against the odds, 102.7.
Culver's wouldn't be what it is today without the family farms that grow and produce the wholesome, delicious food we so proudly serve. From the cattle ranches of the Great Plains to the dairy farms of Wisconsin and south to Georgia's chicken country, it's important to us to make sure farm families across the nation clearly see how Culver's remains committed to sourcing the finest ingredients America's growers have to offer and how thankful we are for their hard work and dedication. Culver's, Scottsville Road in front of Greenwood High. Welcome to Delicious.
This is something here, Luann, to have you in the truck with me and Earl. Normally, you're just calling us on the phone.
Yep.
See, that's why me and Earl had us an idea. We said, let's bring Luann with us next round. Mm-hmm. Luann, we's a hunting for something that's ancient and rich in tradition in the bluegrass state, the ever-elusive snipe.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Eugene going to go get the snipe hunting area set up, and then you ease your way back on down here after you park the truck there, darling, all right?
Sure thing, honey. Those boys think I'm going to go park this truck. I'm headed home to get my Carrier air conditioner installed I've been waiting for the past 5 years. Snipe hunting my rear end. The only hunting I'm going to do is for Earl's checkbook to pay for it all.
So Luann turned to the experts herself for a Carrier unit from Bowling Green Refrigeration, Heating, and Cooling because she knew your comfort is their concern. And while Earl and Eugene are somewhere stranded in the woods, snipe hunting, Luann is comfortable at home with her new Carrier unit from Bowling Green Refrigeration, Heating, and Cooling.
JBK Network Consulting is one of the most experienced Cisco Systems partners in Kentucky and is located in the heart of Red Towel territory in Bowling Green. With a complete line of data and personal identity protection, Panasonic iPro Security Access Control, and state-of-the-art camera systems protects your company with physical security, and Cisco Systems protects your employees and data from the thieves that you can't see on your company's network. These days, it doesn't matter if you're big or small. Everyone needs to protect their information and processes they've worked so hard to build. Let one of the most experienced Cisco Systems partners in Kentucky, JBK Network Consulting, be your partner in this ever-changing technological world. Contact us anytime at 270-796-8935. That's 270-796-8935. Or email www.jbk.net. Remember, at JBK Network Consulting, we connect everything.
Hi, this is Danny Hartung with First Step Prosthetics. Jeremy Harris and I would like to thank the people of Bowling Green and the surrounding areas for their support of the last 10 years. We are proud to announce that we have been celebrating over a decade of service to this community. We are going strong with the utmost care for our orthotic and prosthetic patients. We strive to provide the new and latest technology for the care of our patients and whatever their specific needs should be. Take the next step with us. Next Batteries Plus on the bypass, or visit us at firststepprosthetics.com.
Hello, Vegas. Give me $100 on red.
$200 in chips, please.
Are you a professional?
What's your bid, sir?
That.
Hit me.
It's a bust.
Whoa! I am on fire.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
You're a winner!
Against the Odds with Vegas Frank is brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. JBK Network Consulting. We are IP everything. Working with complex organizations to achieve measurable business outcomes is what we do. Let Jim Grant and JBK Network Consulting go to work for you. Call 270-796-8935. Visit JBK Network Consulting at 1143 Fairway Place, Suite 105, and online at jbk.net.
Welcome back to the Sports Web on the Linex Hotline. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Vegas Frank against the odds. What's up, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm rather well. I had a really big day in fantasy football yesterday, which turned out to be, I was finally got a big winner. So that's good. That'll carry me into the rest of the season. I've won more than the Cowboys have, and we'll talk about them shortly. But I tell you what, man, we rolled down to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, the Hilltoppers. Pigram looked pretty good. Still hasn't turned the ball over once. I mean, doesn't that speak highly of a quarterback, even though he's not putting up 40?
It's good ball control. Getting the win is a big deal. Defense was playing pretty well early, kind of setting the pace as far as it kind of felt like the game was going to be tight early on in that game just because of the way the defense had been playing early on the first couple of series. But, yeah, some good momentum, some things to carry over now against Marshall coming up this weekend. They played really well. I'm excited for them to get that win, to finally get a win. We'll see if they carry some momentum forward.
Yeah, Marshall's Appalachian State, which is a pretty good team. They beat them 17-7, but Eastern, they rolled 59-0. So this offense, man, they can get it done, no doubt about it. But this one scares me a little bit. But I'm glad we're coming off a win with a little momentum and the defense showing up. Finally, thank goodness, but Grant Wells, man, we're going to have to stop that guy. He went, speaking of that Eastern game, he went had 307 yards and 4 TDs, man. I mean, we got to stop this dude because he's pretty good.
No, you're right. And, I mean, I think, too, Western's defense has looked like they're getting more comfortable. And I think that they're going to be ready for this challenge coming up this weekend. You know, their secondary and their back seven are a lot more intimidating, I think, than what Eastern has. No offense to Eastern, but I think that they're going to be. It's going to be a challenge. I think this is going to be a good game. Plus, these are rivals. You know, these guys are familiar with each other. You know, Pigram obviously hasn't been a part of this rivalry, but welcome to the rivalry. It should be exciting and should be a fun game.
Well, here's what I love about it. Helton has interjected a few guys we don't see a lot of or haven't seen a lot of and probably should see more of. Jakari Moses, man, he's a really good back. Kind of like a LaDainian Tomlinson type guy, I think. And then C.J. Jones, he got in the mix a little bit. Gage hasn't been performing at his level, I don't think. But that could be just part of the scheme and games that we've had so far. But, you know, our receiving core, we stepped up some guys this weekend. Xavier Lane, he had 7 receptions, 73 yards, averaged 10 a catch, got a TD. Dayton Wade had a pretty good game, 7 catches. Josh Simon finally got in the end zone. That was a good thing. But, I feel like there's starting to gel a little bit. You know, if we can keep that up and get some sacks, we had a couple sacks, some half sacks, but Eli Brown, local kid, really looking good in his position. So I don't know. I mean, I like our chances of keeping this a game as long as we shut Wells down, but we're going to have to be sending guys, and we're going to have to be mixing it up on D to keep these guys guessing, because that's the only way you beat Marshall, man. These guys are pretty good. Homecoming for the Hilltoppers this weekend, so it'll be a good one to win. What's the line on this one, Frank?
Currently, Marshall's favored by 5.5. Total is at 48.5.
Ooh, man! I tell you, here's the thing: if we can't get into a shootout with these guys, we're not a high-scoring offense, and we're not going to be. So if you're looking for 40 and 50 points like the Dowdy days, not going to happen this year. We're going to have to win this with a lot of defense and time management, and I mean clock management. And if we can do that, then I like the plus 5.5. But I'm going to stay away from this one, Frank. It just scares me. I don't want to bet on it. I'm going to let things happen the way they're supposed to happen. But if I was forced, I would take the tops and the under.
Yeah, I would lean that same direction, but I'm the same. We're in the same boat. I would walk away. This isn't something that we're going to touch. We're probably not going to look at this game again. Maybe before kickoff, we'll look at a first half number, but I don't think it's going to. No, we're not going to take it.
Speaking of numbers, and before we get to the National Football League, man, Jimmy Butler goes off last night. Anthony Davis kind of looked like the old Anthony Davis. I don't know, man. How did they? I figured the Lakers would close that out.
I think it's a combination of things. You're going to have a moment where people had said before the series started that you're going to need 1 or 2 games from Jimmy Butler in order for this to be a series. You would need 1 or 2 games from Jimmy Butler where he would have to score 40 points. Did you know that last night was the first game that LeBron ever had in his finals career? He's played 52, 53 games in the finals ever, that a guy playing on the opposite team outscored, out-rebounded, and out-assisted him. It's the first time.
That's dropping some knowledge right there, Frank.
It won't happen twice in the series. I think that was the only game the Heat are going to win.
Yeah, I think you're probably 100% right there. But, man, I tell you what, it's been fun seeing this thing close out. I'm glad we're going to have somebody's going to hoist that trophy, and we got this season over with, because the longest basketball season in history.
Absolutely. And, when we were in March and everything was starting to break up, with everything getting postponed and canceled, delayed, whatever, we didn't think that we're going to get it into the season. No. So that's got to be, it's got to be kind of gratifying that they got some type of conclusion for these teams. Obviously, it's not the conclusion they were hoping for.
Sure.
They'd be hoping to play in their home buildings. Yeah. In front of fans, but obviously it's a good feeling to get some kind of conclusion.
Yeah, just getting it done is a step in the right direction. Let's talk about some National Football League. First of all, I don't know, man. It was a weird day of games, and then you had a game that didn't happen, the Titans, and then you had a game that almost didn't happen but will happen tonight with the Chiefs and the Pats with no Cam Newton. I mean, was he the only guy that tested positive for Patriots?
He was the only one that tested positive. And then they traveled today in 2 separate planes. They traveled in planes of the players that were around Cam Newton and players that were not in direct contact with Cam Newton. I'm assuming it's offensive defense, or they traveled in separate planes. This is just something that we are going to be watching as we go forward. Obviously, with the postponement of the Titans and Steelers game this past weekend. Now, by the way, there's good news that there's been no positive tests for the Titans as of today. So there's still a possibility that they could be playing next weekend with the Bills. But this is something that the NFL is going to kind of learn as they go. They're going to be learning on the job how to adjust to this and how to reschedule and to move these things around. There's a lot of moving parts, and you're dealing with large rosters. So it's going to be a challenge, but it seems like the NFL is up to it.
I mean, did these guys get a tainted batch of Spam when they were in Minnesota? Because, I mean, it's almost like they were eating COVID Cracker Jacks, and it just kind of caught fire. But sounds like no new positive tests, so it looks like we're going to be good to go. I think they're rescheduled that for Week 7 against Big Ben and the Steelers. I don't know. Let's think about this going forward. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think this is a setback for the Titans as far as them being in a flow, Tannehill feeling it with the eye of the tiger, everybody kind of coming together and playing their part and getting some great wins, or will they weather this pretty easy? I mean, I don't know. How does this? We don't know what this is going to affect teams when this happens. It's weird.
Well, it could work in two different ways. It could kind of derail your momentum, but you could also treat it as if we've had these games that we performed well in. They happen to count. We could treat that as preseason, but these games actually counted. We got to see what our team looks like at strengths. And listen, we've been doing all these off-season programs anywhere where people are doing things virtually. They've been doing, the Zoom meetings and FaceTiming each other, their coaches, their position coaches. So they've been dealing with this for a while as far as their reality. So that probably hasn't changed. Their mindset and their focus, they've been dealing with 6 months of delays and postponements and everything else. So 1 week I don't think is really going to affect them.
Man, I like it. At least you come out of week 4 with you're still undefeated. So that's right. That's like one way to look at it, I guess, because that Steelers game would have been a real test for the Titans this weekend. So, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out going forward. Anything else out of the NFL? There was some good games. I mean, the Cowboys just cannot seem to figure it out. I don't know. I mean, Dak breaking records and getting no wins. I mean, it's just the weirdest thing.
Well, the thing that kind of concerns me the most, if I'm a Cowboys fan, which you are, I'm not. If you're a Cowboys fan, the thing that you have to be the most concerned about is the yardage that they're giving up rushing without any contact. They gave up 185 yards yesterday without anybody hitting a running back.
Yeah.
That makes me concerned. We're just talking about tackling. I'm not talking about keeping a drive being sustained and settling for a field goal instead of a touchdown. I'm talking about the yardage that they're giving up to a third and fourth string running back for the Browns. It makes that's the biggest concern for me. The points that's going to happen where you allow a lot of points. They were still in the game.
Yeah, no, they were. But still, I just don't like the way that it's playing out. And if Chubb hadn't got hurt, he would have ran all the way to El Paso.
Yeah, that's probably true. And also, too, the Cowboys are, I don't know if you saw the division, but they're still in contention.
Holy cow. NFC East is the least. I mean, these guys, it's like they're stumbling on each other. You take it. It's like hot potato for first place. I don't.
Pretty much.
Weirdest thing I've ever seen. I remember a few years back it was like that, too, for a little while, but things turned around. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I like some of Mike McCarthy's play calling, though.
Yeah, I mean, you get kind of concerned, and then there's those shades of that other guy, the Clapper, that was there for a long time. You get a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
As far as play calling and scheming. I mean, Dak's having a fantastic year statistically, but I think he'd rather have wins than 400, 500.
I think he had to, Frank. That's a great way to put it. Anything else happened yesterday noteworthy?
I mean, we're just watching who is going to separate themselves, who's going to be in contention for, challenging the Ravens bounce back with the win after losing to the Chiefs. Would we get a Ravens-Chiefs matchup down the road again, in the playoffs? I'm looking at that. We're trying to see what teams are going to be able to create some separation. The Seahawks defense is horrendous. They're winning games. So, I mean, the Seahawks are
really?
like the worst defense.
It's hard to believe, too, as many years as they've been so good at defense. It is hard to believe. Russell Wilson, if he had one of those defenses from ago, no stopping him. He would win in the Super Bowl easy. I mean, there would not be any stopping him. So, I mean, him and Lockett and DK Metcalf, I mean, this guy's a beast, man. And when you got Chris Carson able to move it down the field, it's methodically. It'd be hard to beat them with if they had time of possession. I mean, it would be really, really hard. All right, man. Let's bring it to a full circle. I'm not sure about the other game. We'll leave it alone. But the Falcons-Packers tonight, big game for Matt Ryan, I think. I mean, this is kind of like last stand for him. He's not going to be around a whole lot longer, and you don't put him in that conversation with Breeze and Brady, but he should be. I mean, he's a good quarterback, but just can't seem to win the big ones. And I think tonight's going to be one of those make or break for Matt Ryan. I feel like the rest of the season kind of lies on his trip to Lambeau tonight.
Well, kind of similarly to what we saw last night with the Eagles and the Niners, the way that they responded, the Eagles felt like we've got to get a win. And I think that the Falcons are kind of in that boat. Other than that goofy onside kick that from a couple of weeks back, we think the Falcons would have had a win. They would have had a win last week too. The Falcons have got to find ways to close games. Yeah. They're producing points, and they've had moments where they play really well and they execute. They've just got to finish the games.
What's it like to be a Falcons fan? I mean, I know how bad it is to be a Cowboys fan, but I mean, it's almost got to be worse to be you're going all the way back to the second half of that Super Bowl that Brady just no way possible for him to win that game, and he did. And he did a lot of that yesterday. I mean, he puts up 5 touchdowns. I mean, the guy's still got some game, Frank.
He does. The Chargers were witness to it. You had the youngest starter and the oldest starter in the game yesterday playing each other. So that was fun. Or the biggest age difference, I think, in between starters, something like that.
Joe Burrow.
That was fun. Brady just keeps doing it.
He does. Joe Burrow looked great. I mean, he's done a great job. I mean, he's been carrying the Bengals organization on his shoulders for all the season so far, and I don't see that changing. But Joe Mixon healthy, it looked like yesterday. My goodness gracious. What's the spread on that tonight, Frank, for the Atlanta Falcons versus the Green Bay Packers? Going to be at Lambeau, so Monday nights at Lambeau, kind of hard to win that game, but I'm sure they're going to take everything they've got in the old refrigerator and unload it.
Yeah, the Packers are favored by 6 currently, and as far as the other game, it would be a slightly earlier Monday night game for the Patriots. Chiefs are favored by 10.5.
Wow, you got it right there. All right, folks, we're about out of time, but there was some ultimate fighting going on, some girl fights. I like girl fights. How'd that plan out, and what's in the future here coming up for the UFC?
Well, Holly Holm was able to, get back to the octagon. Pretty dominant win this past weekend. And then Carlos Condit, after a 5-year layoff, came back and just kind of smashed Court McGee's
Literally.
face. Yes, he smashed it. You would see pictures of his nose, I think it was right after in between the first and second round. You see his face. It looks like it's on the side of his head, so it looks like a cartoon.
You know what it made me think of? Made me think of the moose at Wally World. Sorry, folks. Wally World's closed. Oh, my goodness. It looked like Clark punching it. That's so funny.
That's great.
Well, what's coming up? Any big fight this weekend or what?
Well, coming up in a few weeks, we're going to have Habib and Justin Gaethje, so we're looking forward to that. We want to see what matchups we're going to get later on down the road. We don't know if McGregor's going to be fighting Pacquiao or if he's going to be fighting Hulk Hogan or if we don't know what he's going to be doing because it sounds like he's matched up with somebody different every time.
Hulk Hogan.
Every time he goes public, it sounds like he's going to have some different matchup. And we know that he might not get that title fight that he wanted, that rematch with Habib, because he posted a bunch of private messages between him and UFC President Dana White, and that kind of rubbed the UFC the wrong way. And I think they're getting tired of Conor's antics.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And he'll be doing a lot of commercials the rest of his life, probably. Not a lot of fighting. Frank, always a pleasure, my brother. I'm not going to we're not going to pick this tops. I don't want to touch it. I want to stay as far away from it as I can. I would love to see us get an upset at home. Would be great stuff, deal with homecoming. So, hey, man, I will hook up with you next week, though. All right, we'll talk about it.
Sounds good. Good talking to you.
Vegas Frank against the odds. Be right back. Sports Webb 102.7.
Not all spray-in is created equal. For example, spray-in honey. Why are all these bees following me? Or maybe spray-in tanning.
Hey, you missed a spot there on your face. Oh, that's bad.
See Line-X Bowling Green for spray-in bed liners and Line-X truck gear. It's the next level of complete tough gear for your truck. B&W Gooseneck hitches, toolboxes, step bars, and WeatherTech doormats. Gift cards now available. Easy, affordable, and rugged. Line-X. Check out more at linexandbowlinggreen.com.
This is something here, Luann, to have you in the truck with me and Earl. Normally, you're just calling us on the phone.
Yep.
See, that's why me and Earl had us an ideal. We said, let's bring Luann with us next round. Mm-hmm. Luann, we's a-hunting for something that's ancient and rich in tradition in the Bluegrass State, the ever-elusive snipe.
Me and Eugene going to go get the snipe hunting area set up, and then you ease your way back on down here after you park the truck here, darling, all right?
Sure thing, honey. Those boys think I'm going to go park this truck. I'm headed home to get my Carrier air conditioner installed that I've been waiting for the past 5 years. Snipe hunting my rear end. The only hunting I'm going to do is for Earl's checkbook to pay for it all.
So Luann turned to the experts herself for a Carrier unit from Bowling Green Refrigeration, Heating, and Cooling because she knew your comfort is their concern. And while Earl and Eugene are somewhere stranded in the woods, snipe hunting, Luann is comfortable at home with her new Carrier unit from Bowling Green Refrigeration, Heating, and Cooling.
It's time for the Culver's Butterburger Scoopy. Player of the Week takes us out to the South Warren Spartans. And I got him on the Linex hotline, the one and only Caden Veltkamp. What's up, brother?
Not much. How about y'all?
We're doing good, man. First of all, I can't believe how big you are. You're like Peyton Manning out there. That's how tall you are. It's just you pretty much you think you're full grown, or you think you got another inch or two in you, Caden?
Hopefully I'm done growing. I don't want to be any taller.
It's pretty cool to see you be able to move like you do. That's one thing about these tall quarterbacks. Not many of them can move, and you're pretty agile for a tall guy. And that's what you did the other night against the Purples. Scampered in there in the end zone for a 6. That pretty much sealed the game. We didn't know that then, but that was a hard hitting son of a gun. It was fun to watch, and it just felt good to be in that environment with some fans. Had to feel good for you guys. What's it been like, Caden, this year? First of all, we didn't know if we'd get to play football, so I know you're excited just to be out there on the field and being in competition. But have you guys been able to weather this storm with cancellations, and then things are on, things are off during the fall, and now we're playing? I mean, did it affect you at all?
Not really. As a team and myself, we just looked at it like, hey, we're going to play, and that's how we're going to prepare. And we're going to prepare like it's any other year, and we're going to prepare to win a state championship. Man, that's good stuff, and you guys are definitely in the running for that. I mean, this game the other night, as far as I'm concerned, was the best game in the Commonwealth, and to have you two going at it like that, it was just fun to watch. And that's what, us as fans and media guys and gals, that's all we want, is to be able to see great games. And South Warren produces that every week. Let's talk a little bit about some of your core receiving guys and your guys in the backfield. I mean, we can't not mention Kobe Martin, hard runner. And you got guys like, Jansen Dunn, who you really not even got to utilize much this year at all. So that, that's coming. And then, you got Luke Burton, some other guys that come off the bench. I mean, pretty good weapons for the South Warren Spartans and Caden Veltkamp, right? Yes, sir. We have guys all over the field, and we have an attack that's really balanced. One game I'll have a big game, and the receivers will have a big game, and then the next game, if the team's looking to stop the pass, we have a really, really good running back. So it just presents a really big challenge for any defense that goes up against us, and we still haven't played to our full potential yet. And we've got some guys coming back. Jensen should be back soon, and that'll just add to the 6 or 7 guys that already go out there. Our depth at receiver is really, really good this year, and we have some really good playmakers out there. I mean, you really do. And Putnam, let's talk a little bit about him. I mean, he's a guy that he kind of flies under the radar, doesn't he, Caden? But he's really shown what he can do this year. Yeah. So when I came in my freshman year, it was Putty's sophomore year. He didn't play with the varsity guys, and that was the year we won the state championship, but he really learned from, those guys, Tommy, Clayton Bush, Caleb Lloyd, Tanner Gallagher. They really took him under their wing. And then, after that, his junior year, he started off the year pretty well. I think he had 2 touchdowns after the first 5 games, and then, comes out his senior year, and he's really doing that. He's taken all the younger guys under his wing. He's really been the leader of our receiving corps. He's a great guy to be around. He's a great leader, and he's a really good football player. And he is under the radar, but he's a playmaker for us. And when we need to play, Putty's a guy that we can look to and we can count on.
That's good stuff right there. And you just alluded to something that it's been my sentiment pertaining to the Spartans. I mean, you guys, it's never like it's a new team because you got young guys out there that are molding into what Coach Smith needs on the field, and he's teaching and they're adhering to it. And so it's almost like it's a fluid situation every year, and you don't see that in every team. A lot of teams will lose 4 or 5 seniors, and it's like they're back to the drawing board, but not the South Warren Spartans. You guys seem to just reload every year with people that are already in the system, and that's got to be good for a quarterback having that type situation.
Yeah, we never, Coach Smith tells us this all the time. We never have the fastest guys or the quickest guys. We might have one here or there, but we really pride ourselves on being the smartest team, and that's why we won those 2 state championships in 15 and 18. I mean, we just have young guys that want to come in and learn from the older guys, and the older guys want to teach the younger guys, and that's why the program's had so much success over the years.
That's great stuff, man. And Culver's Butterburgers, we appreciate it. We appreciate you getting to watch you on the weekends, on Friday nights, man. It's always a pleasure to see how you're doing, and just a great job behind center and a great leader there. And you got another year. That's scary. So, I mean, you're going to get your ring, my man, no doubt about it. And listen, we appreciate you being on the Sports Web and taking the time out today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Caden Veldkamp, everybody. Check him out Friday nights for the Spartans, slinging it. Be right back. Sports Web 102.7.
Free $25 wash from Cheetah Clean Auto Wash. Text KING to 59925. Dirt, grime, and road slime can't beat the King Extreme Wash with foam polish, tire shine, windshield treatment, no spot untouched by Cheetah Clean's Elite Service or unprotected by Liquid Cheetah Shield Dirt Guard. Text KING to 59925. That's KING to 59925 for a free $25 King Extreme Wash. Cheetah Clean Auto Wash in Bowling Green on the 31W Bypass and Veterans Memorial Lane in Franklin on Nashville Road. Please text responsibly.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it.
Time to go home there, Ball. I can make it across. Well, then do it.
We got all of that.
Why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
Knock it on. Let her rip.
It's in the hole. By the way, what did Mr. Webb shoot this morning?
It's time for Gary on the Green. Gary on the Green is brought to you by Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill on Old Louisville Road and online at bowlinggreenfireplace.com. Call 270-495-1131.
You heard it right there. It's time for Gary on the Green, and he's on the Line X hotline. Line X Bedliners, Roger Gina. Get over there, Louisville Road, Porter Pike. Take care of the bed of that truck, or you could just do your whole truck, Adam, and they do that kind of thing. You can do a whole golf cart. That would be cool.
I need a new golf cart. I think mine's a little bit on the fritz right now.
Uh-oh. So. You got gas or battery?
Batteries, yeah, I'm electric.
Same here, man.
Which is a shame because those are really expensive to replace.
They are outrageous, and maybe batteries plus though. I'm gonna try that when mine are on the end of their lifespan, which happens quite often. But yeah, I mean, I kind of wish I'd have got a gas cart. Hey, talk about hitting the gas. Sergio gets a win. The beautiful Scottish Open happened also this weekend. But I'll tell you what's more important. It's the Hilltoppers beating MTSU.
Absolutely. I mean, it's got to feel good to get that first win and to be 1-0 in conference play. So, I mean, heck, anytime you get a win against Middle, it's a good thing. So I'm excited for Coach Helton and the football team. I know they're going to take some momentum from this and keep going forward into homecoming.
I think so, and we're looking at a tough Marshall team coming in here, and that's always a good game. I don't expect anything less, but it's going to be a dogfight. Tops are getting 5.5 right now, so we'll see what happens with that, man. But you all are headed to Arkansas.
Yes, heading out on Saturday, going to Arkansas State's tournament in Jonesboro, so should be a good field. We're kind of playing the same teams because we're the only ones allowed to play this fall, so it's going to be a lot of Sun Belt, Conference USA, and Southern Conference schools, and we're kind of mixed in BYU, so maybe this will be a little preview of the football game later on, so hopefully we can beat BYU, and then the football team can take care of business later on.
I like the way you think, Coach. That's good stuff right there, man. What about in the world of your team? I mean, it's got to be tough qualifying because a lot of these girls can beat each other on any day, right?
Right. Yeah, it's extremely close this year, and this is a team that's deeper than I've ever had before. So scores are really close, and the courses are playing tough right now. We played Old Stone and we played Indian Hills this weekend, and now that the humidity and the temperatures are kind of going down a little bit, the greens are getting firmer and faster, and they're playing tough. So one bad round can let somebody catch you. So everybody's got to stay on their toes all the time to keep that spot in the lineup. So it's going to be a dogfight for them, but I think that competition is what helps you get better. So I'm looking forward to getting the lineup set and then heading off to Arkansas State this weekend.
Yeah, and that's got to be a great problem for a coach, having a lot of talent like that, fighting for spots. That just makes your job feel like you're doing the right thing every week, because you have done the right thing all over the place in every category across the board. And it's just fun to watch it all come together. And I'm just so glad that you all got your season and you've been able to make the best out of it thus far. And I don't see the Lady Tops going down there and not coming back with a really good placing and possibly a win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's all I ask for a coach, is just to be in contention and have a chance to win there at the end. So, like I said, I think we've got so many weapons on the team this year that if someone has maybe a little bit of a down day, then someone else is there to pick up the slack and to carry the team if needed. So, yeah, I would be surprised if we're not in the mix, and I think it's going to kind of continue this momentum that we've got right now. So it's going to be fun.
Coach, what kind of advice would you give us? Cold weather's going to start hitting. A lot of these older guys aren't playing as early. I'm looking towards the senior golfer right now, and what would you tell them? Do they need to stretch more? Do they need to get loose more before they play in the colder months so they don't go out and hurt something?
Absolutely. I mean, I think obviously a warming up is a good idea anytime, but especially when it's cold outside. I think it's very valuable to get there early enough and actually take it seriously with a warm-up. Too many times I see people show up right on their tee time and then just go straight to the first tee. And I think that's where you pick up bad habits also, because like you said, if you're stiff and not able to swing, then it might take a few holes to get loose and to get going, but those first few swings might mess up your balance, mess up your swing plane, lose control of your club face and contact, and all those fundamentals that we've talked about on the show before. So I would look up. There's lots of different information online with YouTube and things now. I mean, gosh, there's so much information. So any of those stretches and golf-related or golf-specific stretches are good to do, and a lot of those that you can even use a golf cart for. You don't have to be in a gym or anything, just making sure you're warming up on the range before you hit a few and then go to the tee and actually be ready to go. So I'm with you. I think that not only will that help your scores, but it'll also kind of prevent injury and keep you playing golf a little bit longer.
It's a win-win, Coach, we like to call it on the Sports Webb.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Man, it's always a pleasure. I wish you the best of luck. Do you have any kind of prediction for me for the Hilltopper homecoming COVID style?
COVID style, right? No, I think that it's going to be a close game. Like you said, it's a tough Marshall team, but I'm going to take the Tops by a point.
Oh, I like it. Something like 24-23 or something crazy. Maybe.
Yep, I like it. I think it might even be a higher scoring than that.
Oh, so you might be thinking the over. I think it's like 48 maybe. That's gettable.
I like the over.
Okay.
I think that they're going to put some points on the board.
Man, that is good stuff. Coming up in the next few weeks, I would love for us to start doing a kind of a pre-Masters, because what we just talked about as a golf tip is going to come into play down there. I know this week everybody's in Florida, so I mean Destin is overrun by Hilltoppers right now, but when they get back, they'll be facing those chilly days on the course. But these guys in November, it's going to be a little different Masters, isn't it?
Absolutely, and I'm kind of bummed selfishly because we were going to be at Mercer's tournament the week before the Masters, and I had a ticket, and then they don't let the patrons in. So,
oh yeah,
I know I was going to be there and just go right over and watch it, but not to be. But that's okay. Maybe in April, right? Maybe I'll be able to go in April.
Golf or not to golf? That is the question. Gary on the green, Coach. Good luck on your road trip. I can't wait to catch up with you and find out how it's going next week.
Perfect. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Sports Web, ESPN 102.7.